Welcome everyone to On Silver Screen, where learning is interesting. This is your host, Silver de la Rosa, and today we will be having part 2 of our discussion about the conditions of contract. If you would like to see more videos about quantity surveying, please support my YouTube channel by dropping like on this video and sharing the video to your friends, especially those who are preparing for their APC. And if you haven't done yet, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on the notification bell so that you will be notified every time I upload a new video. On previous episode, I talked about the general provisions that can be found in the standard conditions of contract as well as the parties to the contract. In this episode, we are going to focus our discussions to the quality assurance and quality control, price and payments, and time that are provided in the standard conditions of contract. Now, we often hear about the word quality assurance and quality control used interchangeably in construction, since these two concepts are interrelated. But actually, these two individual components of quality management are not mutually interchangeable. Each serves a specific set of processes and purpose. In order for us to understand what is quality assurance and quality control, let us define first what is quality. According to American Society for Quality, quality can be defined as the characteristics of a product or service that bear on its ability to satisfy the stated or implied needs. It can also be defined as a product or service that are free of deficiencies. So this is what quality means. Having said that, how do we assure quality? Or what is quality assurance? Quality assurance is a set of planned and systematic activities which are laid out even before the project starts, with the aim to give confidence to the client and the project team that the quality requirements will be fulfilled. It can further be defined as the processes implemented to prevent problems from happening. So this is quality assurance. Now let's take a look at what is quality control. Quality control can be defined as a systematic set of processes that involves ensuring compliance with minimum standards of material and workmanship described in the specification, in order to ensure the performance of the project will be according to the design. It can also be defined as the processes of detecting and correcting the problems when they occur. So you see the difference between the quality assurance and quality control. Quality assurance aims to prevent things from happening or defects from happening, while quality control, on the other hand, aims to rectify any defect that can be found. Let us take a look at what are the conditions provided in the standard forms of contract to assure quality. Taking the definition of quality assurance as the processes implemented to prevent problems from happening. With this definition, and if you come to think of it in general, the conditions embodied in the contracts were all aimed to assure quality. All these conditions has direct or indirect effect on quality. But some of the express provisions in the contract provided to ensure quality are manner of execution. This section expressly provides the contractor's responsibility to deliver the specification provided in the contract and ensure that the workmanship are carried out in accordance with the recognized good practices. So when we look at the project as a whole, it's not only the standard conditions of contract that we are looking into, but also the specifications to ensure that the contractor delivers the quality that is intended. Another provision that may be expressly provided in the standard form of contract is the material sampling. To assure the delivery of expected quality, this section covers the responsibility of the contractor to provide proof that the materials to be used conforms to the agreed specifications. This includes provisions for the contractor to provide the necessary tools and equipment to test the materials and the submission of the necessary documents. For example, in order to make sure that the reinforcing steel bars to be used by the contractor conforms to the specified quality, the contractor needs to submit the mill certificate. And on top of that, a random sample of the material will be taken and will be physically tested. So this is what is provided for in the material sampling part of conditions of contract. Now, Unlike quality assurance, there are specific groups that are responsible for controlling quality, and the contract expressly provides certain conditions to control quality. Some of these conditions are inspection. This provision clearly establishes the client's requirement to inspect every aspect of the works carried out by the contractor. This section also expressly requires the contractor to coordinate, cooperate, and allow the authorized inspectors full access to the worksite. Test at completion. On the previous slide, we talked about the material sampling and testing of these materials. Some of the works may need to be tested only after installation or after the works are completed. Hence, the conditions of contract also caters for this scenario. To ensure and control quality, this section provides the client the right to test the completed works prior to acceptance or certifying the works as complete. This condition will also afford the project team the opportunity to detect patent defects. So this is to detect patent defects. How about latent defects? This is where the defects liability comes in. This section indicates the period wherein the contractor remains responsible for the latent defects that may occur after the works were handed over to the client. The remedies for defective works, the obligations and rights of the parties were also detailed under this section. Now let's talk about price and payments. Price and payment provisions will determine the full contract price and how payments are structured. In the implementation of payment regime, the following must be taken into consideration. First, you have to ask yourself, what is the mode of payment? Will there be an advance payment? And if yes, how much will it be? And how will it be recouped? Will there be a progress payment or it will be a lump sum final payment? What is the payment application process? Will there be a retention? If there is, what will be the conditions that will trigger for its release? Will there be a limit for a retention? Now we have several terms here: advance payment, progress payment, payment application, and retention. Let us discuss these terminologies in detail. First, let us understand what is an advance payment. According to FIDIC Red Book 2017, advance payment is an interest-free loan for mobilization and design if there is any. It is important also to understand what are the conditions for the release of advance payment, such as the submission of advance payment guarantee and compliance to contractual procedures. The manner in which the advance payment be repaid by the contractor is also dealt with under this section. Now, let us talk about progress or interim payment. Progress or interim payment are provisional or short-term payment made progressively to a contractor at a period or intervals stipulated in the contract. Interim payments provides a mechanism for the client to make payment to the contractor before the works are completed. So this section will also deal with the payments application process, which may include when to submit the payment application, what can be included in the payment application, what to submit, for example, the number of copies needed to be submitted, the acceptable format, and any supporting document. The payment period, let's say from the time the payment application was submitted until the payment is made by the client. So how long this will take? It should also be clearly stated in the contract or in the conditions of contract. Now let's talk about final payment. The conditions of contract details the event that allows the contractor to apply for final payment. This section may also describe other contractual mechanisms that will be triggered by this event. Let us now talk about retention. What is a retention? Retention is a sum generally deducted at each monthly payment notice to provide the client with some security and that the contractor or the subcontractor will return to correct any defects during the defect correction period or defects liability period. The following may also be provided in this section. First, the amount or percentage to be withheld, retention cap or limit of retention, and conditions for its release. We will discuss about the payment regime in detail when we reach the season for commercial management. Please watch out for that video. Another aspect that should be considered when we talk about price and payments are the schedule of values or schedule of prices. What are these? These are additional documents that itemize the price of different components of the works. The conditions of contract will dictate the use of these documents, including its hierarchy in the priority of documents. Examples of these schedules of values or schedule of prices are bill of quantities or BOQ, schedule of works, and schedule of rates. Let us now take a look at what are the provisions in the standard conditions of contract pertaining to time. In this section of conditions of contract, provides not only the date of commencement and time for completion of the project, but also it provides guidance to the contracting parties, the actions that needs to be undertaken when certain delaying event occurs. So having said that, we also have to understand the conditions of contract pertaining to extension of time or EOT. So what is extension of time? Extension of time is a mechanism in a contract that allows the time for completion to be extended due to excusable events, therefore avoiding the prevention principle and the concept of time at large, which ensures that the liquidated damages regime can still operate. So when dealing with EOT, it is important to understand if there are any conditions precedent or time bar provisions. So what are these? Condition precedent are the conditions that needs to be satisfied, for example, provision of notices, before the application for extension of time can proceed. And failure to satisfy these conditions may render the extension of time application as invalid. So this is condition precedent. So how about time bar? Time bar is a condition that provides time limit for a party to act, for example, to serve notice after an event had occurred. So for example, if the contract had given you 7 days to provide the notice after the delaying event occur, you have to provide this notice within 7 days. Otherwise, your notice will render to be invalid because it is time barred. Again, we have several topics here. We have excusable events, prevention principle, and time at large. But in order not to veer away from our main topic, which is contract practice, I will discuss about these terms in detail when I talk about claims and claims management. Please watch out for my videos with regards to this interesting topic. Right now, I will only talk briefly about liquidated damages and why it is associated with time. So what is liquidated damages or LD? These are genuine pre-estimated amount that the client would likely suffer if the project continues past the agreed upon time for completion. So liquidated damages are genuine pre-estimated amount, and it should not be too extravagant to be viewed as penalty. Otherwise, the liquidated damages will not be imposable. Join me next on silver screen for part 3 of our discussion about conditions of contract. If you wanted to see more videos about quantity surveying, please drop a like on this video, and you may also share this video to your friend, especially those who are aspiring to be professional quantity surveyors. And if you haven't done yet, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on the notification bell so that you will be the first to know every time I upload a new video. Thanks for watching, and see you next episode.